Duchamp also creates the bride stripped bare by her bachelors, also known as the large glass. And here we see a playful and serious examination of humans as machines. I should point out the image that you see on the left has a white background. The one on the right is there to show you that this is all done on a pane of glass. These are all paper pieces collaged originally on one piece of glass, and then later a second piece of glass will be added, and we'll get to that later. So the top actually represents the bride, depicted as, well, basically a motor. And it's kind of an interesting idea. A woman is motor because he's looking at woman as reproduction, as the motor that keeps the human species moving. And he's not trying to be insulting in this. He's trying to really study from an anthropological perspective what it is to be woman in society and how they feel that they're being viewed at the time. This is Duchamp's rumination into the ever-confounding realm of desire and sexuality. The lower half is actually that idea of the Bachelors, of people leering into the top. And we see different ideas, hard and linear forms in the lower half, these softer forms in the upper half. Later, when transporting the glass, it broke, and Duchamp painstakingly reconstructed it, later declaring the work finished by chance. So it shatters, and then he pieces it together, gluing it to a larger piece of glass. So now the paper pieces are between the two pieces of glass, sandwiched in place. So it's kind of an interesting way of doing it. He's creating this idea of chaos finishing the piece, something that we would never associate with art in the first place. So what has he done? He's broken down humans into machines, and this is getting at very futurist ideas, the idea that man is constantly accelerating, man is cogs in an industrial machine of his own creation. And I should also point out that he studies this at great length. There's an entire notebook where he's studying the forms and determining exactly what he'll use. If I go back for a moment, we can see these different elements that are being used, and all of them being used for specific reasons. We even see sort of connections between the two that would have existed in the original glass. So it's a really complex form that calls us to have a discussion about it. Again, that conceptual art idea. Unfortunately, it's about 50 years before conceptual art really becomes a thing, and he runs into the problem of being ahead of your time, which is not entirely speaking to the society that is reading it at first. But we can look back later and see it as a great piece.